So the Chicago Bears are one of the most historic franchises in the NFL. They have right now about 9 championships and a league leading 30 Hall of Famers, yo. But for some reason in the last 70 years, I repeat 70 years, the Chicago Bears hasn't found a true franchise quarterback. Guys, since Sid Luckman in 1950, more than half a century ago, the Chicago Bears hasn't found a valid franchise quarterback. We've seen teams like the Green Bay Packers do this pretty consistently over the past couple of years, and it's crazy to me that the Chicago Bears for the past 70 years cannot find some similar consistency in terms of quarterback. So the Bears all-time passing leader is Jay Cutler. He has about 23,000 yards for the team. He is honestly their only so-called franchise quarterback they've had since Sid Luckman. And over the last 13 years, the Chicago Bears have had 5 head coaches, drafted or traded 7 quarterbacks, and with all those investments, they haven't done anything substantial at all. So today I want to talk about why this is happening to the Chicago Bears. Why can't they find an actual true franchise quarterback? It's been over 70 years and they haven't accomplished this. There's something going on right now called the Bear Trap, and it has a lot of validity to it. So we're going to talk about that and a lot more in today's video. So let's start by breaking down the Chicago Bears cycle. First, they have a rookie quarterback, and this guy is drafted as a lot of hope in the fan base. Everybody loved their new quarterback. We saw this in 2017 when they drafted Mitch Trubisky number 2 overall. Guys, they literally passed Patrick Mahomes in this draft. They passed up Deshaun Watson, who most of you guys could argue was a good decision, but Deshaun Watson was a menace when he was playing for the Houston Texans. And then guys, in 2021 they drafted Justin Fields number 11 overall, and this again was the same thing. Justin Fields was gonna come in there to be the savior, to be the guy for the Chicago Bears, but again, as most of y'all know, that didn't work out, similar to the Trubisky situation. And right now we have a very similar situation in Caleb Williams, who was drafted number 1 overall this time and is regarded as a generational talent. The Chicago Bears has completed this part of the cycle consistently over the last 7 years. Now that is for the hope, that is what the fans want. And don't worry about what's on my nose. I ain't gonna let a big ass, huge ass pimple stop me from making this video. This is very important. But this part of the cycle starts it all, because the way this team goes into the draft, the amount of hope that they push down the throats of Bears fans is almost comical. And then right after this, we get into 2 people. So part 2 of the cycle goes as follows, people. The rookie quarterback starts to struggle. Boo-hoo! He's a rookie quarterback. So like clockwork, these quarterbacks start to struggle in the rookie season due to maybe lack of support, or maybe them just acclimating to the new atmosphere. All of this struggles then leads to something we all don't want to hear. Everybody starts saying that the rookie quarterback is a bust. But here's the thing, the franchise never actually listened to the fans. Once people say the quarterback is a bust, the franchise starts looking at how the coaching is impacting the quarterback, which I honestly think is a good thing. Now when we take a look at Mr. Trubisky in the 2017 season, he played under a defensive minded head coach in John Fox, who didn't even have an input on him getting drafted at all. And then a very similar thing happens with Justin Fields in 2021, y'all. He struggled behind a porous, big word, horrible offensive line, and just a chaotic game plan from Matt Nagy. Guys, it wasn't Justin Fields' fault in his rookie year, and even coming into his sophomore season, he struggled through most of those years, but he was showing flashes of being an actual quarterback that this team could rely on. I don't think the problem there was with Justin Fields, though he was a new quarterback in the league and he could improve. His offensive line was horrible. The game management, the coaching of this team under Matt Nagy wasn't it.
Relax.
And now boom, we're on to 2024, people. Caleb Williams. All right, the Chicago Bears is gonna get it right this time. They've had 2 tries. Let us actually create an environment where this quarterback could thrive. And I'm gonna be honest, they tried. They have Roma Donzit drafted with Caleb Williams, bring in a veteran receiver in Keenan Allen there to help support this guy. The offensive line is not bad at all. Caleb Williams this year has a lot of things going for him. The team was actually good. The defense this is good. But the main part here that hasn't worked has been the coaching. And this team, guys, never can get it right when it comes to finding a quality coach to lead a rookie quarterback into success in the NFL. You cannot build a winning franchise if you can't have a good coach, man. Like, it's just horrible. And that's why right now, Matt Eberflus, I don't even know how to say his name, but their coach just made one of the dumbest decisions I've ever seen in a football game, and he got fired for it. He deserved it. But you gotta see all those things from the beginning. This coach, Matt Eberflus, you've costed this team like 5 games now. I will be honest with you guys, Caleb Williams has been playing great over the past couple of games. All right, he and his team has been playing in a way that they should be winning more games, but the coaching hasn't been there, and this shouldn't be a problem for a franchise like the Chicago Bears. And that leads us on to 3 now, people, because this goes with the firing of the coach. Because this team isn't prepared from the beginning, they haven't invested their money into the best coaching staff for their player. They're now firing the head coach, and this wasn't just with Caleb Williams, y'all. This was actually with Mitch Trubisky, this was with Justin Fields, and now we're seeing it with Caleb Williams. That's why the cycle is so clear and vivid out there. So after Mitch Trubisky rookie year, John Fox was replaced by Matt Nagy. After Justin Fields rookie year, Matt Nagy was replaced by Matt Eberflus. And now Caleb Williams rookie year, the only thing that has changed is that they fired this head coach a lot earlier than the other ones. He actually got fired mid-season. So it's clear as day. It's so clear as day that the Chicago Bears have a problem. They can't seem to hire the right coaching staff, and that does so much harm to the development of a rookie quarterback. Like I said in my Green Bay video, like I said in my rankings video, you need consistency for a quarterback to grow. They need somebody there consistently with them to see them grow. That's the easiest way to grow, man. You have a consistent person or figure that sees where you started and is there to see where you're going, and they don't have that. I wish they did, man. This is a great franchise. They have great fans. They're in a cool city, kinda, but they can't do these things. And now we move on to my least favorite part of this cycle. All right, the quarterback, the rookie quarterback now has to adjust. He's done all these things in college that this franchise love him for, and they brought him in under a set coaching staff to really build on those attributes. But now this guy has to adjust. He has to change his entire style of playing, his entire growth structure in the NFL, which was under a different coaching staff. He has to adapt that now to a new coaching staff, and this is hard to do. And because the NFL is so cutthroat that fans, coaches, owners, they don't even care. They want to see these guys perform as soon as possible. You have to show that you can do it from year 1 or year 2 to actually have the confidence of a franchise, and the Chicago Bears make it 10 times worse for any quarterback that they draft. You can't expect these guys from year 1, you draft them under a set coaching staff, and then the second year they're under a completely new system, and then you expect to see huge amount of growth in these quarterbacks. That's where the problem lies. You're not gonna see it because there's nothing consistent there. Look at Green Bay. Look at what they do. Yes, they have quarterback and coach changes here and there, but for the most part, they have consistency in their coaching. That leads to consistency in their quarterback, and that leads to consistency on the field. That leads to consistency in the culture of the team, in the culture of the fan base. Everything around the team becomes a community now, because we've seen these faces for a while. These aren't new dudes pulling up every time. You feel me? There is that thing there. There's that part of the NFL that fans love. That consistency, all right? That relationship that you build with the coaching staff over a set amount of years, with the quarterback over a set amount of years. If you don't have that in your team, man, it's even hard to even maintain a fan base if you can't get that right. And this then leads to the absolute worst part of being a rookie quarterback for the Chicago Bears. The worst part of the trap is that after all these changes, these guys get blamed for the changes and the decisions that the entire franchise has made. Since the coaching has changed and the quarterback is still underperforming, they blame the quarterback instead of thinking that maybe their decision to change things does impact the quarterback quarterback in a negative way. Now, Justin Fields is a huge example of this. He actually saw a time in his career where he was playing decent because he had a level of consistency under his head coach. But after the change, that's when the Chicago Bears basically decided to move on because he had to adapt to that new coach and they weren't able to give him the time to develop. So some of you might be asking, Zor, why does the trap exist? Why is this happening in the Chicago Bears? It's so public, it's so well known, and they aren't doing anything about it. Well, I don't think the trap itself is a problem because that's something that we see naturally happens in the NFL to NFL teams depending on the situation that they are in. I think the trap becomes a problem when we have mismatches in leadership, especially when we look at how the Bears have sort of failed to align their GM, the head coach, and the quarterback together in one ideology. And another thing could just be the way that Chicago Bears have a short-term mindset when it comes to quarterback. They don't want to develop quarterbacks. They want to see quarterback come in there and change their entire team. That's why it's very hard to find a good quarterback for this team. That's why it's very hard to see consistency in this team over a long period of time. All this means that the Chicago Bears like to go through this cycle and then at the end of the day blame their rookie quarterback for all their mistakes and then have this hope in the fan base that everything is going to be changed based on this new quarterback that they're going to draft earlier on in the draft, and then repeat the same thing and go on about it. This cycle needs to change. All right, we've seen it 3 times. Fans are seeing it and they want change. Their GM, their front office have to listen and actually change the structure of this. We don't just move on from coaches unless if they're Matt Eberflus and you're making moronic decisions like that. But you want to have consistency. That has to be a huge part of this team. That's how the Chicago Bears can actually move forward and start finding some consistency in their franchise again. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. Without further yaps, peace out. Bye bye. Love you guys. Mwah.